things are not going so great with Meta's metaverse effort, right? Numbers are down.
Wow.
They're revising their estimates downward. Things aren't great. It's not looking good. The numbers are bad. There's some details shared in this report and among other sites that picked it up. And yeah, I don't know what's going to make the metaverse click. I think that's really the question. We saw some dismal numbers over in Decentraland that were disputed a bit, which we should probably discuss that a little bit later on today. But this one seems par for the course as metaverse again continues to sort of fail to find its footing. So you know what, Jen? I'm going to toss it to you for your initial thoughts on this one, because this is something that's been closely watched. Obviously, Facebook was seen as sort of the flagship of the metaverse push, and so far numbers aren't looking great. What do you think?
Yeah, so that target number they talked about was 500,000 active users by the end of the year. And I bet that number was set during the bull market when they were hiring 10,000 people to build this whole platform out. Everyone was very excited. And then things kind of took a turn. I was honestly surprised to see that they have under 200,000 active users compared to those numbers we spoke about last week, which was the Sandbox and Decentraland having about 38 active users on the platform. And so I was surprised. It's more than I was expected to see. On Meta's platform, I think that Meta and the industry at large is yet to find that CVP, like the value proposition for the metaverse that will keep people coming back today. We're all thinking like in 10 years from now, but what's going to keep people in metaverses today? I don't know. I don't know what that is. And I think the person or platform that figures it out will win. But like you all said, we're in a bear market right now. I don't know what's going to keep people coming back, what's going to keep people interacting with smart contracts in metaverses. And my last thought on this is the VR headset to play in this world costs $400. And given the state of the economy right now, $400 is a lot for people to get in here and test something that is very much still in beta. So those are all of my takes on this story. Wendy, what do you think?
All right, lot to digest here. So first and foremost, we know that crypto generally operates on a 4-year cycle due to Bitcoin. Yes, that can change in the future. However, it hasn't changed yet. Next, why aren't these companies planning for bear markets? It's literally not that hard. Why are you not holding extra reserves, whatever it is? Then on top of it, you're going to let people go during the bear market when you actually should be spending time building things. And I also don't like titles like this and these companies that project these numbers, because they don't take into account outliers. And it feels like they're just using these like statistical reports that I think statistics are not very accurate. Whatever, that's a story for another time. But especially if you're charging somebody $400 for a VR set to participate in something that should almost kind of be for free, because let's face it, Meta allows you to, utilize their social media platform for free. However, you are sacrificing your freedom and your privacy. Another story for a different time. But I don't know what they were thinking is in terms of that. Like, are these people in these big companies so detached from reality to what the middle class, lower middle class, and poor are actually dealing with? Because we're in a really bad recession in the United States. I'm not sure what they were thinking. I think that this is ridiculous. And I just think that it's just ridiculous. That's all. I'm done for the day.
I'll pick it up. I mean, I think Zuck's big bet didn't work out, and I think most people saw that coming, right? He changed the name of the entire company towards Meta so they could pivot in towards this. Like, they went both feet first in the largest tech company in the United States. They have nearly 4 billion users across all their applications, and they pivoted entirely towards this, throwing a lot of money at it. Remember, they were going to hire like 10,000 people to build the metaverse. Hasn't really worked out, and that's pretty sour note on Mark Zuckerberg's record. Of course, they have enough money to keep this floating. Like, there's not going to be any problems about that. But it is a big culture moment for Facebook and a big culture moment for anyone who's trying to build in the metaverse. If this large corporation couldn't figure it out with infinite dollars, what does that mean for small startups that are just trying to figure this out and trying to get users? We had a nice story a few weeks ago about Sandbox and a few other metaverse-first platforms that are built in startups, talking about the number of users in these applications. It's hard to say because a lot of things depends on like how you count things. And so there's some additional reporting about that. For sure, everyone should go back and check out that article. Pretty interesting read. The takeaway from it was not a lot of people are using these things though, even though they have very high valuations. And I think we continue to see that with Facebook, whether they be valued by the token or by equity. Not a lot of people are interested in using this metaverse product yet because it's not really built out. To Jen's point, right? Like, what is the killer application in the metaverse? doesn't seem to be anything. There's a gambling hall Zach likes to talk about, but that seems to be the only
I was
thing
just about to bring
anyone
that
really
up.
has an interest in going towards.
Go gamble.
Go gamble some stuff.
Go gamble.
Yeah, no, that Decentraland story that CoinDesk published that caused a lot of controversy and conversation. I kind of felt like that small number was a bit too good to be true. It was something like 38 daily active users. And there was a lot of pushback from the teams behind Decentraland saying, okay, that DApp radar data is counting contract calls basically, rather than people who are just lingering around. So instead of 38, it's like, I don't know, 8,000, but still 8,000, like a really small number in terms of people who are using these things. And I think that's true across the Web3 space. If we look long and hard at sort of usership numbers in a real way, right? So definitely interesting to see a bit more reporting coming out, not just in the Web3 metaverse space, but in the Web2 metaverse space with Facebook's efforts over there.